So how is this year's meeting going so far?
So far, it's going great. You know, this is Thursday morning, and the crowd here is so big now that you think it was Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
This is the largest conference we've ever held. The enthusiasm is great. I said to somebody earlier this morning that any liberal who wanders into this hotel is going to have to conclude that the obituary notice of the conservative movement has been posted prematurely.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, you've lived through these sort of dark times in
they always say
76 or after Goldwater or whatever. And, you know, how does this, though, compare to some of the other periods?
You know, in some ways, this is even, I think that the enthusiasm is greater, the optimism is greater now than it was in 1993 after the election of Bill Clinton. Because as you'll recall, Clinton tried to cut into the constituency and even as president tried to sort of triangulate, as they call it. Barack Obama is emerging not as the centrist that he ran as a candidate, but as the most liberal president perhaps in modern history. And conservatives know how to deal with that. They know that they don't hope that he'll fail, as some have suggested. They know that his policies will fail because they're wrong.
Right.
And so they know that they're going to come back because their policies and their beliefs are right, and they resonate with Americans. So I think the optimism, the level of energy here is greater than it would have been in 1993. You know, it was in 1975, after the real pummeling that Republicans took as a result of Watergate, that Ronald Reagan appeared here at this conference and gave the now famous speech in which he said that if Republicans want to come back, they need to lead a party that marches under a banner of bold colors rather than pale pastels. He said, go back to your values, forget about all of this stuff, and talk about the values that motivate you and that you share with the American people. And 5 years later, he was sworn in as president. So I think that optimism is there and that energy is there.
Now, John Bolton, I don't know if you were in at his speech, but he was pretty tough on the Bush administration, on North Korea and a number of other issues.
Right.
Do you think there's a feeling here that the Bush administration got away from conservative
values? Well, I think there's a very strong feeling that was evident even in years past, that the congressional leadership and the White House had forgotten what it was that they came to power to do, so that they've shifted away from the conservative path, if you will. I think it was probably 5 years ago that Mike Pence of Indiana delivered the keynote speech in which he said that it appears that the ship has gotten off course, and it's getting further and further off course. So those comments are not only consistent with the beliefs we've had in some time, but they're also consistent with the election results, because what was rejected in 2008 were not conservative values, but Republican performance. And that very fact, the exit polls, in fact, showed that. I suggested the other day, they said, why are Republicans in Congress seem to be more conservative now than they were before? I said, because they've all thrown up their hands and said, free at last. And so I think you're going to see a return to basic values. Right.
And just finally, who are you looking for as strong presidential possibilities in 12?
You know,
I know it's early, but...
Yeah, what's happened, not only is it early in traditional terms, but it's even earlier in modern terms. Because the technology, the way news moves, the way politics moves in this country now has shortened the cycle. And anybody today who predicts who's going to be the Republican standard bearer, even the top two in 2011, doesn't have any idea what they're talking about.
I hear you.